Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. Hey, I'm in the woods today. I got a new Hennessy hammock and I thought I would set it up for the first time. The asymmetric hammock's very interesting. I have a friend who has really spoken highly of them for a long time, and I've been on multiple camping trips with him. And despite heavy wind and rain, he's always been very comfortable and dry. And last summer, we did a sailing trip in which we had to hunker down for an extended period of time for a full day in some heavy rain, and he was probably one of the most comfortable people in the entire campsite. The Hennessy hammock is asymmetric, which means you kind of lie diagonally in it. You have to lie either in the fetal position or on your back. So I'd always been someone who kind of enjoys sleeping on my stomach, so I was a little worried about that. However, this deal was too good to pass up, and I wanted to go ahead and try it out. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up for the first time and then put what they call a snakeskin stuff sack in it as well. I've got some straps here for the trees, it looks like. Yeah, there are two of them. I'll probably upgrade the straps at some point, but not right now. Here I am putting the straps on around the trees, and I'm using a bowline actually to tie the straps around the trees. I find bowlines the easiest not to use. They are very easy to get out after they've been under heavy load. So I tend to use them in this kind of situation. The straps themselves turned out to be very high quality, high strength straps. My friend, who also owns several Hennessy hammocks, uses a strap that has several little loops along the length of it, so that it's basically an adjustable belt strap, making it very convenient and easy to use, and he can get his tent up extraordinarily fast. This is the first time, obviously, I'm setting this up, so it's taking me a little bit longer. You can see the ridge line that is holding up the top of the Hennessy tent right now. This is without the Rainfly attached. The lines from the tree come down and go to what do you want to call them? I don't know. Connection points to the tent, to the bottom of the hammock fabric itself. There is some black material nylon around it, which prevents rainwater from dripping down and getting into the hammock itself. And that whole connection is basically seized up inside of that little black part that you can see where the rope meets the hammock. Here you can also see the tent starting to take shape. I've had to tighten up the straps. That's because I put them too close together initially, and so now I'm having to adjust. But you can see already that the tent is slightly asymmetrical. By that I mean that the netting isn't coming down directly in the middle of the hammock. It's actually coming down to one side, and on the other side it's the other way, so that you're actually sleeping slightly diagonally in it, so that you are lying more flat than you otherwise would. I gotta tell you, it's interesting knowing a lot about knots, but not necessarily knowing a lot about this tent, and just trying to decide to figure it out. What's going on here? Currently in the woods at the back of my house. You can probably hear a little bit of traffic in the background. And this is the Rainfly. The Rainfly, from what I can tell, is very nice ripstop fabric made with some very nice taped seams. The seams themselves are actually fairly wide. The seam tape that they use to waterproof stuff with, very nice. So I have no complaints there. It did take me a minute to actually figure out what I was doing, but once I did, it all made sense. Yeah, so I can see how that's going to be very comfortable. These stakes here on this, it has two parts for the tent is slightly asymmetrical. So it has this one to get pulled over here to a stake, and then it has one on this other corner over here to be pulled out. And then the Rainfly
has little circles that attach onto clips onto the lines that hold up the tent. The clips are not permanently attached to it, though. In order to tension it, you need a way of slipping the Rainfly back and forth along the lines, and those lines are put on with like a double slip knot, which is very easy to move back and forth, and yet it keeps the tent fly nice and rigid once you have it attached correctly. You also need to make sure that the Rainfly is correct, and also it is asymmetrical with the tent itself. Those lines, there's little circle clips at the corners of the Rainfly where the guy lines from the tent also attached to it. And you can see here I'm taking one of those lines from the Rainfly and tying it around a tree in the background there. The Rainfly guy line is now going to be attached to the bottom of the hammock clip, thereby keeping the hammock in the correct shape when you get into it. I actually haven't done it yet here. I haven't figured it out at this point in the video, but that's what's eventually going to happen, and you'll see in a minute.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I think that that's pretty cool. It has a nice little attic, a little bag at the top to put your book and whatever in. The asymmetric part is very cool. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this snakeskin, which is what's going to help it pack up really easy, so I don't have to roll it up every time. And we'll make this much easier for stealth camping, which is something I hope to try later on in the year.
Here I am untying the tent from the tree, and then I'm going to have to take the line, and the very first time I use the snakeskin, I'm going to thread the line holding up the tent into the snakeskin. There are two halves of the snakeskin, one half for each part of the tent. So here I am pushing a rope through the snakeskin. The snakeskins will overlap in the middle, and then it'll be much easier to pack away, and I will leave the snakeskin permanently on. So what I'm doing right now only needs to ever be done once. Once it's complete, I will have a very fast setup and tear down. You can see here I have the first half of the snakeskin on, and now I'm about to put on the other half. I am really impressed with the snakeskin. Putting it on, I realized how efficient it was. It has at the end a little loop that will also clip on to the top ring part of where the Rainfly attaches to everything, so that when I'm pulling the snakeskin on, it's the end of it stays on, and it will just take up the rest of the fabric of the Rainfly and the tent itself into that neat little sausage bundle. Very efficient, very cool little idea. I like it a lot. I got the Hennessy Snakeskin XL model that goes along with this. So you can almost think about it as when you get a really nice tent, you want to get the nice floor that goes underneath it. Now, in general, I use a heavier floor that goes underneath the tent. I usually get a real blue tarp, a thick, nice blue, heavyweight, durable tarp, and I cut it to the footprint that I need. But you can think about this in the same way. This snakeskin is going to keep my tent well, in good shape, very easy to set up. There will be no figuring out where lines go or anything like that, because the tent is already set up in there. There's no poles, there's no nothing else. Once I pull off that snakeskin, well, I tie up the tent to the trees, I pull back that snakeskin, and then it'll all be up in moments. So very cool. You can see how the one snakeskin overlaps the other one, thereby making a nice long sausage roll. And that entire tent is now in that small little package.
So that was putting the snakeskin on for the first time. I think that it's going to be rather easy to do going forward, although I have to say it was already very easy to do. And that will pack up into nothing. And then setting it back up again, all I need to do is tie it off the two trees and then uncoil it and set it up. So that was pretty cool. I think I'm going to go ahead and practice that once right now and see how fast it is to put the tent up now that I've...
So the answer is 1 minute and 45 seconds once it's been tied up to the trees is how long it took me to set up the tent and pull off the snake skin. I'm fast forwarding here just to make this video a little bit shorter. Things that I do like about this tent. I do like that it's extraordinarily waterproof, although I know that only secondhand through my friend, but I am going to test it out myself. I love the snakeskin and how fast it is to set up. Things that are bad about this tent. I don't like the fact that you need trees. You have to rely on trees. I've gone camping in plenty of places without trees. Having said that, most of the time I know when I'm going to a place with trees, so that shouldn't be a problem. Another thing that I really like about this is that I'm able to camp pretty much anywhere. I don't care if the ground is flat or not. I can just go ahead and pitch that, and it can be in rough woods on the hillside, and I will be comfortable. That is phenomenal. It's also really, really low key, and by that I mean there's no it's not a bright color. I blend into the background. I can pitch this somewhere and really hide in the middle of some woods, and no one's really going to see me. And that kind of stealth camping is very attractive to my mind as I get older. I'm really like that.
And there it is, set up. That's pretty quick. I'm going to take you on a little tour underneath and let you see what it looks like from underneath. It could be tightened up a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I will do that in my first test. By tightening up, I mean I picked two trees that were slightly too close together, and I wish I had picked some that were slightly farther apart, but this is okay for this example. So here you see the snakeskin's coiled up, and the Rainfly is connected to a loop here, and that loop can be pulled up and down on this slip knot with this hook here to tighten it up, and it should be a little bit more rigid and tight, but it's not right now, but it's fine. It's asymmetric, meaning that it has a point on the lower half over there that's going to go over there, and then on the other side of the tent you'll see that it's more towards this side, which I'll call the head, and I'll call that the feet. The zipper is only on one side, so when I come under here you'll see now that this is the zipper side, and that it has a little pocket up top for your stuff, and I have laid in it. It's pretty darn comfortable. The tent has this little guy line that goes to the Rainfly, and the Rainfly has a little guy line that goes to a tree to keep it out and spread and keep the and if you tighten up real tight, that's what keeps the rain off of you, and of course you're off the ground, so no worry about rain. And also it's very much hard to see once you move away from it. It's that dark forest green, so the farther away you get from it, and with a little camouflage and a little forethought, you're really not going to see it, especially once it gets green outside. So very easy to stealth camp and throw that up somewhere and be able to sleep. I don't think you're going to notice it too much from the road. So once again, I'm going to put this away, and you'll see how fast hopefully it goes away this second time. It's totally set up right now. We'll see how fast it goes away.
And the answer was 2 minutes and 20 seconds to untie it, put it in the snake skins. Here goes one snake skin. And then you'll see I reach over. Now, of course, the snake skins are already on and already attached, so it's much easier the second time. Here comes the second snake skin. Getting the last little bit inside that part is probably the hardest part of this whole operation. It will become easier once the fabric is all used to being scrunched up like that. And then untying my bowline, very easy because I chose the right knot. And here we are, it's all done. So that's it. Obviously, I always get slightly larger stuff sacks for my tents. It makes it easier to put away. It's very hard to fold up a tent how it came shipped to you, obviously, once it's been used. But this is going to pack away really small in a small stuff sack. And it's very light. And I think that overall I really like it. Thanks for joining me today at Sharp Ends. And I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully the next time you see me with this tent out, I'll actually be using it to stealth camp. All right, talk to you later. Bye.